November 1944. Hürtgen Forest. An American patrol was less than 20 yards from walking into a concealed German machine gun position. They didn't know it, and for 10 seconds, their radio stopped working. That delay may have saved every man in the column. The Hürtgen Forest was one of the most brutal battlefields on the Western Front. Dense pine trees blocked visibility. Sound carried unpredictably through the woods. Artillery often detonated in the treetops, sending splintered wood down like shrapnel. Patrols moved slowly. Single file. Point man ahead. Rear guard behind. Radio operator in the center. Communication was survival. That morning, a patrol from the 28th Infantry Division was sent to confirm German activity along a ridge overlooking a narrow forest trail. They were not supposed to engage. They were only meant to observe. But if German machine guns were positioned above that trail, walking another 20 yards could turn the path into a kill zone. Halfway up the slope, the point man froze. He thought he saw movement uphill, a shape behind fallen timber, maybe just shadow, maybe something else. He raised his hand. The patrol stopped instantly. The lieutenant turned toward the radio operator. They needed confirmation before moving forward. If Germans were positioned along that ridge, the patrol could be stepping directly into overlapping fields of fire. The radio operator knelt behind a tree trunk. He keyed the transmitter. Only static answered. He adjusted the antenna. Tried again. Nothing. 10 seconds passed. 10 seconds where no one moved. The lieutenant weighed the decision. Standing still in Hürtgen was dangerous. German artillery frequently ranged forest trails without warning. But advancing blindly could be worse. Up on the ridge, a German machine gun crew lay concealed behind logs and earth. An MG-42 was positioned to cover the clearing just ahead of the patrol. They had already spotted movement below. They were waiting for the Americans to step into the narrow open stretch between the trees. They needed them fully exposed before firing. If the signal didn't come through, they were going to move anyway. Below, the radio operator tried again. Static crackled. Then, faintly, a reply broke through. German presence confirmed along the ridge. Hold position. Artillery support inbound. If the patrol had moved during those 10 seconds of silence, they would have entered the open section of trail directly beneath the concealed machine gun. The lead man would have been hit first. The rest pinned behind him. There would have been no room to scatter, no room to flank. Only trees, dirt, and automatic fire. In the Hürtgen Forest, maneuvering under sustained fire was nearly impossible. The trees offered limited protection. The ground was uneven and exposed. Retreat would have meant running uphill into bullets. Instead, the patrol remained frozen beneath the canopy. Moments later, American artillery began striking the ridgeline. Shells detonated in the treetops above the German position. Wood splintered. Branches fell. The ambush dissolved before it could be triggered. The machine gun crew withdrew under bombardment. When the patrol eventually advanced, they found fresh shell craters and abandoned equipment along the ridge. Proof that something had been waiting for them. Proof that 10 seconds of hesitation had changed the outcome. After-action reports from the Hürtgen fighting repeatedly describe how unreliable communications shaped survival. Dense forests disrupted signals. Orders arrived late. Confirmations failed. And sometimes those failures forced units to pause when instinct urged them forward. In open terrain, hesitation can get men killed. In the Hürtgen Forest, that hesitation prevented a patrol from stepping into a perfectly prepared machine gun trap. 10 seconds of static. 10 seconds where no one advanced. 10 seconds that kept an entire patrol from walking into automatic fire. War is often remembered for decisive action, for charges and counterattacks. But sometimes survival comes from waiting, from holding position, from resisting the urge to move too soon. In November 1944, in one of the harshest forests of the Western Front, a 10-second failure in a radio transmission kept an entire patrol from walking into a machine gun trap.